And if you went and did genealogies, you check the gene history,
84 for
you cannot find
84. Let's go now. Let's go ahead. And what you can't do, we gonna do it. Read that. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with a great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Where did the Jews flee?
Fled into Africa.
So the Jews were in Africa. So you keep saying black African. Black African. The Jews is in Africa too. Go ahead.
Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
What was the slave markets full of?
Black Jewish slaves.
All praises to the Most High. Now you give me anything that say that for the Jewish people. Anything. One. Give me one source. Josephus. All right, let's get back to 26. I don't think you're getting understanding what I'm saying. We got our history, right? We know we were slaves here, just say in America. We got recent history of who we think are the children of God from the Jewish people. Show me their history of them going on slave ship. It's not calculus. You can show ours, can't you? You can show ours, right?
Our ancestors ate our babies.
You can show same thing with you. Show me that the same thing you're saying. The same thing you're saying. Show me that with the Jewish people. You see what you're not making sense.
They did it in 2 Kings.
In the Bible.
They did it.
No, show me the history. I can say it. If you ask me, okay, ask me again. Ask me again.
What
to show me the history of eating dough. Ask me again.
All right. Where is so that black Africans ate their babies?
It's in 2 Kings. It's in 2 Kings.
No, they're not black.
Like I said, the same thing you said. It's in 2 Kings.
You can't say that.
So hold us to the same thing. Why we can't say that? And you can.
Because number one, if the Bible shows that there's a difference between the Jewish people and black Africans.
You're saying black Africans. Okay. You don't see black Africans in the Bible. It says Hamites. So show me that slavery of the Jewish people going on slave ships. It's not calculus. It's not calculus.
When Paul went to Rome, how did he get there? How did Paul get to Rome?
Show me of the Jewish people. When I say Jewish people, I'm talking about the people in the land today. Can I pull up Google? Somebody.
The people have been in the land.
Pull up Google and say the history of Jewish going on slave ships.
You may not find it written anywhere. I've looked for it.
Exactly. So they don't fit the prophecies. Say that again.
Just like Paul.
Do that exist for us? Do it exist for us?
But if he was
do it exist for us? Do it exist for us? We can find our history, right? Can we find all these people? Can you find a history for all these people?
None of them.
You can't find,
not one.
The West Indies didn't go on slave ships? The Haitians didn't go on slave ships?
But wait a minute now.
Hold on. The Puerto Ricans, hold on. They didn't go on slave ships? All these people on the side? All praises to the Most High.
Black Africans were put on slave ships. That is evident. There is no disagreement in it.
So show me that for Jewish people.
The black Africans were Jews. Because the black Africans didn't have any record of, and if you went and did genealogies, you check the gene history,
84 for
you cannot find
84.
You
Let's go now. Let's go ahead. And what you can't do, we gonna do it. Read that.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with a great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Where did the Jews flee?
Fled into Africa.
So the Jews were in Africa. So you keep saying black. You keep saying black African. Black African. The Jews is in Africa too. Go ahead.
Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
What was the slave markets for?
Black Jewish slaves.
All praises to the Most High. Now you give me anything that say that for the Jewish people. Anything. One. Give me one source. Josephus. Josephus. Okay, let's get back to 26. You can't give one thing. Josephus don't count. That's not because it don't. You can't pull up that in the history. Of course, he's talking about the Israelites in 70 AD. It's just said it was full of black Jewish slaves.
But you are denying history of what
Matthew chapter 26, verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had much indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much, and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily, I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her.
So all praise to the Most High. That was the memorial of Mary Magdalene. She put Christ in his time of need and comforted him in so much that he gave her her own memorial. So all praise to the Most High. With that, we say shalom.
Shalom. But you got to get off of that, man. You still got to see.
I'll be praying for y'all.
Yeah. Just don't pray to him.
We don't know what's on Jesus. All we have is revelation.
Well, we see that Paul was a Jew. We see Paul was black. They thought he was an Egyptian.
How'd you get him?
They thought he was an Egyptian. How could they think
they were light-skinned Egyptians? You know that, right?
They was what?
They were light-skinned Egyptians. They're probably
light-skinned.
Cleopatra.
He's light-skinned.
Light-skinned too.
Okay. Light-skinned, Mediterranean skin.
Light-skinned.
See, the people back then weren't as skin conscious as we have become. See, what we're doing is the opposite of
why did he think he was an Egyptian?
Klansmen say, well, we all cursed.
Look, why did he think
because of our skin color? See, we have to avoid that the same thing.
No, I'm asking.
It's opposite side of the same
Why
coin.
did he think Paul was a Jew by looking at him?
Who knows why? He doesn't say. The Bible doesn't go into that much detail. Perhaps he had heard something in Egypt that there was. Remember, there's also Jews that were living in Egypt too.
If you think somebody is Barack Obama, like that, that's Barack Obama. Why would you think that?
Yeah, you got a ladybug on your bird.
Why would you think that? Because he would have to be what?
He would look, I guess, something similar to him, right?
He would have to be black, right? He have to be the same tone, right?
You don't have to be black.
He have to be the same tone.
Black.
Right?
They're Indians. When I'm talking about real Indians, sometimes they're darker than our skin.
Right.
You gotta get out of the skin thing.
Right. It's not about the skin thing. It's about when you see examples in the Bible like that. That was a great example. He thought he was an Egyptian. That tells me that he didn't look like the people today. He didn't look like the people who you claiming back then. in ancient times, he didn't look like the people today. The prince of Egypt said,
can we agree with
the
this?
king of Egypt said, y'all left black and came back white. Why would he say that?
What?
Why would he say that?
All right, listen to this.
It's not about color.
Were
right?
the Jews scattered? Can we agree on this? The Jews were scattered to all the nations of the world. Can we agree on that? Okay. So if Jews went up north, would they not have a lot of skin because it eventually intermingled with Europeans, right? I can see some Jews going to Africa, especially the Ethiopian Jews, looking like the Ethiopians because they intermingle with those people. Okay? So just because you intermarry, doesn't make you perhaps any less Jewish. There's still Jewish blood in you. But when there's no...
What about prophecy? Everything, this is what I want to do. Everything you say about Joseph and 2 Kings, we can say the same thing.
Why don't you read? Why don't you read Josephus for yourself?
I've looked at it before.
You read it Josephus before.
But that doesn't prove that the so-called white man in Israel today is the true Jew. That's what I'm saying. If I ask you, you ask me.
Then who did Hitler kill in the camps?
Let me see if you can.
Who did Adolf Hitler kill 6 million of?
Let me see if you can fathom this. You ask me, where in our history did we eat our children? I said in the Bible. I asked you the same, and you said you can't say that. I asked you the same question about the Jewish people. You said in 2 Kings. So how come I can't do that, but you can?
Because you don't have a continual history.
That don't make sense. They said they was gonna lose it. The Bible said they was gonna lose their history, their heritage. So by that point, you're wrong. It's not. I don't think the elevator is going to the top floor because you're not. How you gonna tell me I can't do that? But you can. That's a hypocrite. But you see,
but the Jews that went to Europe, unfortunately, they don't want to accept Christ as Messiah, but they refuse to leave their heritage.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Just because they're still doing the things, didn't Israel go into our sin for not keeping the laws?
But then when the time of Christ was there, were they not keeping the law per se, but had him crucified? They crucified the Son of God.
So you're saying that the continuance history, that don't make sense. Because listen, all I'm saying is the standard that you're gonna hold us to, you have to keep it. You can't say you can't use the Bible. And then when I ask you the exact same thing, you use the Bible. That's all I'm saying. Can you get that?
In Acts chapter 2, okay, on that particular day of Pentecost, Jews were coming from all over the world to be at that Pentecost. On the day of Pentecost, right? They came from Asia, they came from Europe, and a few came from Africa. Is that right? That came from all over. So why not the Jews that were in Europe and in Asia and some even in Africa? They have come back into the land. That is fulfillment of prophecy. And they've not lost a battle since they've been there. I'm not agreeing with everything they may do, but I do understand this, that God is on their side. I'm saying this.
Show me the history of those people being all over the world. In any time frame.
If you look at world history books, you can see how the Jews were persecuted. The Jews were the ones they blamed for the Black Death in the 1300s. The Jews, they blamed the Jews for that.
So show me.
They were persecuted continually, almost every country. In Spain, in England, they were driven out of England. They were persecuted in Italy. They were persecuted especially in Russia, in Poland. Who do you think the camps were for? Were the camps in Russia, the camps they put in Poland, was it for us? Now, some of us.
All those places you just named.
Yeah.
The people who there, do they look like this?
Came up with those names. Why they come up with these nations? No, but who put those names? That's not in the Bible. Countries we didn't even discover yet. Where does it say the Levites are going to sell in Haiti? Where does it say that?
It's Genesis 39. You read when Abraham, Jacob is he's telling them.
But where does it say they're going to settle in Haiti?
Well, he's telling them about the prophecies of these two brothers.
Sure.
You
You know what that meant? When Levi and Simeon attacked the men of Shechem the man raped their daughter. So they went in and they wiped out all the males because they had them circumcised, okay? And because of that, the part of the curse is that they were to be scattered. So Simeon never had his own land. He had to share with Judah, and when the tribes split, he went up north. But the tribe of Levi...
It said the Dominicans and the Hades.
But he didn't go to the Dominicans.
No, the Dominicans and Haiti. What you know that they share land right now, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and they both practice divination. So that's part of the prophecies, but that's a whole nother topic.
But it doesn't show that.
I'm curious to ask you this: which one of these is the proper description of Christ? Whether it matters or not, which one is the proper one?
I say neither.
No. So you don't think neither one of those?
Jesus didn't have blue eyes.
What about the red?
And light
The
skin.
Revelation 1:14?
But he didn't have that either.
It says it right under
He was a light. I imagine he was a light skin.
No, why say that under there?
Why say what?
Revelation 1:14.
His hair was like wool. That's the description of the color of his hair.
Okay, I'm talking about the skin complexion.
The skin complexion. His suit was like brass, which means kind of a light brown.
No,
You
it
have
said
polished
as if it's
brass,
browner than
it looks
fur.
like a light brown skin.
So he's a brown man.
I believe he's a brown man.
So
brown
it's
shade.
as if it's burned in the furnace.
Okay.
So none of the Jewish people today are brown people.
They may be light skin, but remember they've been in Europe for about 2,000 years. They're just getting back.
I think he won't never stop.
Yeah.
They're just getting back. But remember,
Why did the president?
what were the
Nasser-
Arabs and the Jews are brother nations? Can we agree on that? You can't agree on that. How come you can't agree on that?
Hey, listen to this.
They're half brothers.
Why did the president of Egypt say this in 1958?
In 1958, President Nasser of Egypt said of the Jews, they left here black and came back white.
Why did he say that?
Because he's confused. Number one, he's a Muslim. So he doesn't like the Jews in the first place. They had wars against the Jews.
That's your answer?
Okay?
So why
why is he going to say anything positive? They're enemies of the Jews. Absolutely.
Good talking to you, John.
The Jewish people were more brown or light skinned.
but it's cool. It's cool.
The Jews look like the complexion of the Arabs.
But it's cool. If they the people, be prepared to be their slaves.
Well,
Be prepared to be their servants.
because of a Jewish carpenter who we know to become the Messiah, if we accept him, we're grafted in already as Jews.
Prepare to be their slaves.
We're already grafted in.
Them Jewish people, prepare to be their slaves.
I suggest reading the
Let's
book of
prepare to be
Romans.
slaves. I love Romans.
Read the book of
We
Romans.
love Romans.
Seriously.
Especially
And
Romans chapter 9.
Be careful, son. And man, I appreciate your zeal. Man, you're out here with
Go
Christians.
cool.
ought to be-
If your zeal wasn't on that, you'll be strong in the
You
truth.
need to join us. Be with us.
You'll be strong in the truth.
I appreciate the gospel. When you're preaching the gospel,
And
man.
help lift
I'm
up your
with you.
people.
So do you keep the laws?
Do I keep the laws?
Yeah.
Jesus said this. He asked him the most greatest commandment. He said, love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and your neighbor as yourself. Okay? Jesus said, this commandment I give you, that you love one another. All right? So all this the law hinges upon. So if I love you, I'm going to treat you right. If I love God, I'm not going to have any other idols in front of me. Right?
Right.
We agree on that.
Right.
So that's it.
It said
remember-
those are the greatest commandments. It didn't say those was the only commandments.
Well,
It said those were the greatest
but
commandments.
if I love you, I'm not going to covet what you have. Right?
I agree.
Okay.
If you love God, you're gonna keep His commandments, right?
That's right.
Right. So
if you love me, you keep my commandments. That's
Right.
what he said.
Right.
So we agree on that.
So the law is that's included the pork, the shrimp, the
Look,
crab.
but wait a minute, but if you look, Paul said, let no man judge you in meats, in holy days. He said that too.
Break that down.
I know. Hey, that's why
I
I know that he
go.
going there.
I appreciate y'all. I gotta go.
Hey, can we break that down real
I
quick?
appreciate
Can
it.
we break that down real quick? You know Paul is hard to understand.
It's not that hard to understand.
The sad is Peter Moore doesn't say it's
Okay,
hard to
Peter said,
understand.
because people were still under the law that Peter was
Can we
preaching
get
to. Preaching
get
to.
Colossians 2 and 16?
Peter is reaching
So
out
can
to the circumcision.
people get drunk?
No,
So when you
unless you drink of the Holy Spirit.
so look, when it said let no man judge you in meat or drink.
Right.
So when it say it
But
say
Paul
drink.
also said this.
What is the drink?
I will drink no wine or even meat if it cause my brother.
I said on the test.
What I'm saying.
He told Timothy, drink no more wine,
So-
but a little wine. For you.
So watch this. So watch this. Watch this.
But it's
You
a little one.
When
I
you
just tell you,
when
see
I
how the
asked you
challenge
before,
just came?
you said let
I
no
know
man
where
judge
they
you in
gonna
meat.
Right.
So you know when we tell people about being drunk, they pull that same script. Because it say let no man judge you in meat or drink.
Okay.
Get there.
But the Bible does say
So you see how
not to be given in strong drink.
but you see how
And that's what
a drunk you see how a drunk pull the same scripture you use to say you can eat pork. You see that? You see how that's off? You in on the same mind with a sinner. Do that make sense? Watch this. Let's show you what meat read Colossians 2:16.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of any holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath day,
So go ahead.
which are a shadow of things to come.
So why did he say that? Get Ezekiel 45 and 17. Why did he say let no man judge you for
In
meat,
other words,
drink?
we are not required to keep the rituals and ceremonies.
So that's not talking about pork. Exactly.
We're not-
Read it. Ezekiel 45,
Wait a
17.
minute.
Hold on. You just cut yourself.
And
Come
it
on.
shall be the prince's, and it shall be the prince's part to give burnt offerings and meat offerings.
And this is what Paul was saying.
When's the last time you
meat
made meat offering?
offering. Look, this
When's
what
the last time you
this
went
what
to
Paul
Jerusalem?
listen. This what Paul was saying. Let no man judge you for not bringing a meat offering. Go ahead.
And drink offerings.
Or a drink offering. This is what Paul was quoting. Go ahead.
And the feast.
In the feast, respect of a holy day. Go ahead.
And it shall be new moon.
Or the new moons. Go ahead.
And in the Sabbath.
And this is what Paul was quoting. So when he said, let no man judge you in meat or drink, he's talking about meat offerings, drink offerings, the offerings on the feast day, the offerings on the new moon.